I have a confession to make. Sometimes I sign documents without reading them. I've never read a cell phone contract, I've never read a rental car agreement, or the terms and conditions for a piece of software. If you ship hazardous materials, don't be like me. Signing hazmat paperwork without reading it could get somebody hurt, it could cost your company hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it could even land you in jail. I'll explain why in this video and why you definitely need hazmat training if you sign hazmat shipping papers or hazardous waste manifests. Most hazardous materials shipments, including shipments of hazardous waste, must be accompanied by a shipping paper. The shipping paper provides critical safety information that emergency responders will use if there's an incident in transportation. There is no one specific form for a hazmat shipping paper. It can be a shipping order, a bill of lading, a manifest, or any other document that serves a similar purpose. All shipping papers must include specific information like a description of the material, an emergency contact phone number, and a certification statement that must be signed. Depending on what you ship and the mode of transportation you use, that certification statement reads something like this. I hereby declare that the contents of this consignment are fully and accurately described above by the proper shipping name and are classified, packaged, marked, labeled, and placarded, and are in all respects in proper condition for transport according to applicable international and national government regulations. You can see the exact text of these shipper certifications in 49 CFR Part 172.204. On the Hazardous Waste Manifest, the certification statement is in box number 15. When you sign your name under this statement, you are legally certifying that every step of the shipping process was done properly and in compliance with the regulations that apply to your material. To certify that the shipment complies with those regulations, you need to know what those regulations are. In other words, you need hazmat training that satisfies US DOT's standards for hazmat employees. And you don't have to take my word for it. When asked whether a person who signs shipping papers must be trained in all phases of hazmat transportation, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration answered this way in a letter of interpretation. Since the employee who signs a shipping paper certifies that the materials are properly classified, described, packaged, marked, and labeled, and in proper condition for shipment, the employee must receive function-specific training that ensures they are knowledgeable in those areas and can determine that a shipment is in compliance with the requirements of the hazardous materials regulations, in addition to general awareness familiarization training. I will add a link to the full letter of interpretation in the video description. If you're not familiar with terms like function-specific hazmat training or hazmat general awareness training, you can find explanations of them and a detailed look at DOT's hazmat training standard for hazmat employees in the hazmat training FAQ linked in the video description. Or you can check out our video, Who Needs DOT Hazmat Training? I will put a link to it right here. That video gives you the details about who must be trained and what that training must cover. Now, let's talk about why training is so important if you sign shipping papers or manifests. Because it's your signature on the shipping paper, you can be held responsible if your hazardous material was not packaged properly. You can be held responsible if the material's hazards were not accurately identified, and you can be held responsible if the emergency phone number you provide is out of service. When you're the one who signs the shipping paper, it's your name on the line. Literally, it's your name on the line. The maximum civil penalty for businesses that violate the hazmat shipping regulations is now around $90,000 per day per violation, and that increases every year. If you willfully or recklessly disregard the law, you could even be held criminally liable. Criminal violations can cost individuals as much as $250,000. If the violation results in a release that causes death or injury, the maximum consequence is 10 years in jail. So before you sign a hazmat shipping paper or a hazardous waste manifest, make sure that you have adequate hazmat training. With the right training, you can confidently certify that the shipment is in full compliance with all applicable regulations. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please use the like button, use the share button, and use all buttons not otherwise specified to help your friends and colleagues find it. Visit lion.com/hazmat today for up-to-date training and resources to maintain compliance with the latest U.S. and international regulations for shipping hazardous materials, and I'll see you next time.